graphic designer, cook, social commentator, storyteller, teacher, and much more. This multifaceted personality is here with me today. KV Sridhar, also known as Pop. Hi sir, welcome to the show. Firstly, tell us, what is this idea behind Pop and why do people call you that?
You think that it is because of my grey hair? I have got this name much before I turned grey. This was way back, in 1992 when I joined Lintas at Alec Palan's time. There was another copywriter at that point in time working at Lintas. So that time Lintas was far more stiffer and nobody could actually give me a nickname because I joined as a creative director. So the poor young copywriter started being called as Baby Sridhar. By default, I became Papa Sridhar, and then that became Pop when people really became friendly with me. And also my nature of lending my shoulder for everyone to cry really sealed the name for me. Then media took it over and then popularized me as Pop. I have no credit because I love being a father to anyone.
That's really, really interesting. And what I just read out was your Twitter bio, you have got so many roles. You're a painter, you're a graphic designer, you're a cook, you're a storyteller. You've got so many roles that you play. What do you enjoy the most?
All of them come in one package called life. Correct? Embrace whatever you like and whatever life has to offer you. And then life has so many things to offer you. And then only you need to be enthusiastic. Like children, you ask a kid. A kid is a painter, a kid is a singer, a kid is an actor, a kid is a player. Anything, everything they do. And only trick in life is to keep the enthusiasm for life as much as children have. Then you can be anything and everything all the time.
So Mr. Sridhar, you have been the creative mind of many advertisements and you have taken the industry to another level altogether. But when I was doing my research, I actually found out that you started your career as a Bollywood billboard painter. How did that happen? Can you tell us more?
Two reasons why I studied finance and I also studied science, walking through all these things. And my family belongs to film. My grandfather was a film actor and my uncles and my brothers, my younger brothers that time, were working in regional films as Telugu films as child artists, and I come from theatre. So to me, to our family, film industry proximity towards that was quite high. And my father had a friend who owned one of the billboard companies, and he one day saw my portraits at home. Then he said, why don't you come and then, would you like to paint 40 feet portraits? I said, wow, where as a struggling young student, when you get to do, maximum 3 feet by 4 feet paintings, you can't go beyond that, neither you have the money, you have the space to paint larger canvases than that. I jumped up because I always loved portraits. So I jumped up, I said, I'll come. After that, it's been a struggle for me to really climb the scaffoldings and then, handle shoots. That was a lovely experience for me to really do the billboards, including Sholay I did. A lot of regional films I did. Whatever films came in Hyderabad those days, I used to do all this work in Hyderabad.
Then how did advertising happen?
Advertising actually, I'm a painter by training, and I've studied science. But I never understood the relationship between mathematics, physics and architecture. So architecture to me was one of the favorite things and I've always wanted to do. But I could never get into architecture because I never studied mathematics and physics. So I was a frustrated architect where my skills and then my knowledge I was improving in architecture. So I thought, maybe if I can't build real homes or real structures, why don't I try in feature films where you can put up sets, which are fake, not real, and then still the same principles: plan, elevation, research, props, interiors, everything, the recreation of that. That's the reason why I went into filmmaking, and then I was for a little while, for a year and a half. I did 1.5 feature films.
How did you land your first advertising job?
I thought, going to the best agency will start your career well, and then I wanted to go to the best one. I went and showed all my work to the creative directors there, and then the art director. They said, you know nothing about commercial art, but you're very good, your illustration is good, and then you seem to be a smart guy. My art director told me that I must accommodate you, but I can't accommodate you because there is no place. There is no place. I can't offer you a chair, my son, he said. So while going back very disappointed, I saw the security guard sitting on a chair outside the gate. Then I bribed him and then took his foldable chair, went back to the cabin of the general manager, and then told him, now I've got my own seat. Will you give me a job? And then he laughed and he let me be a trainee for a while.
So you are you're a really wonderful painter. At the same time, you are an advertising professional. I think advertising and painting, they're all form of like storytelling. What inspires you to do the same?
I think right from I've been inspired by theatre. My grandfather was a great theatre actor and also film actor. Always been inspired by him. How do we tell stories in theatre? Theatre was the first exposure. Then lots of storytelling. His grandparents helped simplify a lot of moral things. So always being observer of people. If you want to be a good artist, I used to do 500 sketches a week, and I used to travel everywhere with a bag full of paper and pencils and charcoal sticks, and then go around everywhere. Somehow, the earlier part of my advertising never had an opportunity to explore human stories as much as I got in my later half when television came in. In '83, that's when I made my first television commercial. Till 1983, I was doing only print advertising. So '83, when it started, when you started doing your first television commercial, that is when you realize the power of telling the stories. And later, telling bedtime stories to your children make you better and better and better as a storyteller.
Who are the people who have influenced you in your life?
There are lots of people, for instance, I said in art, Michelangelo has been a great inspiration for me. In terms of literature, Herman Hesse has changed my life. His book Sridhar has really inspired me. On one count, he says one of the qualities of Siddhartha was to starve and wait and think. They sounded very, very simple words, but in life, if you were to really say that, you can't really say that you can think. It's a very profound thing. You can wait virtue of patience and also starve, the hunger for life, and also willing to sacrifice personal things, for greater good. All of them are very profound words. In terms of philosophy and literature, he inspired me.
So when you left Leo Burnett, that was the talk of the town. So personally, do you believe in taking calculated steps, or do you rather go with your instinct at that point?
As you have seen, I've never calculated anything. Somewhere, you need to listen to your heart, and I think, I've always loved life. My life is limited to some close friends, my family, and my profession. And I love human beings. I believe that there is God in every human being. I cannot see human beings suffer. There's lots of things about human beings which actually bind you. There's nothing called calculated risk. To me, it is safe to be risky, and it is quite risky to be safe.
What do you love the most about your job?
Who pays you so much of money to do what you like doing? I do nothing, in fact, I rely on my life experiences, and I try to bring in those experiences and stories, connect them to brands and people. Where do you get such a profession? You get paid for doing what you like doing.
And how many people can say that as well? I had a fabulous time talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much.